Hey everyone, welcome back to Poplar Preparedness. We got a subscriber update reports from you guys. We got Australia checking in. We have Denmark checking in. We have a bunch of information coming in from Minneapolis that about the power substations there. Let's jump right into that because that's a really big deal. Yoshimitsu, I guess. Just add this to the Minneapolis Post. I live south of Minneapolis, outside the city, and noticed this week they put up a shroud over the fence around the power station near my house. It looked heavy enough to stop small caliber rounds, and you could no longer see inside the substation. Those who live in Minneapolis and surrounding areas need to keep their heads on a swivel. I feel like the government knows something is up and they're not telling us. Now, one person replied back to that, Grayballer said, those shields have been around the substations in Minneapolis for years. But then there's a conversation that went back and forth, basically saying that that those shrouds were in the downtown area, but this is in the suburbs now. So they're expanding those shrouds to much further out in the Minneapolis area. What is going on? Do they know what something else is going on? Are they hardening these substations? That is interesting to hear. All right, more reports coming at you. SRL says large areas of Texas were without internet service this week when fiber optic cable was cut in 2 locations. When it gets cut in 1 location, that can be an accident. When it gets cut in 2 locations, it sounds a lot less like an accident. We're hearing infrastructure after infrastructure after infrastructure coming either under attack or having mysterious problems recently. We all need to be keeping our heads on a swivel, so to speak. Mortimer says in West Metro Denver that there doesn't seem to be an egg shortage right now. Went and picked up 2 dozen jumbos this morning. A medium shortage of canned wet cat food if your cat is a picky eater. Fish and seafood pate is pretty picked over. Butter, cottage cheese, turkeys and hams, milk, cheese, chicken, and ground beef seem to be in good supply. That's good supply stuff. But wheat-based noodles were picked over, as was some canned veggies. Frozen potatoes were limited as well as some other frozen veggies. Seemingly plenty of frozen pizzas and other heavily processed frozen foods. Prices were all up. Seems every time I go to the grocery store, this is true. Looked at donut prices and they were up from 69 cents to 90 cents a piece. Didn't buy any. Sticker shock. Those were the only aisles I visited today. Donuts are super easy to make at home. There's a reason why they made donuts during the Great Depression for people who are hungry. They produce a lot of calories, but they're super easy to make. Girl of the West says, Southern California, the eggpocalypse has hit my area at last. Vons, Trader Joe's, Costco, no eggs. Hope this doesn't get in the way of my baking my Christmas cookies. If you need to bake your Christmas cookies, folks, you might want to make sure that you stock up on those eggs now. Don't wait because it's getting bad in some areas. They're still out there most places. Even if you don't find them at the store you're at, if you go to a different store or if you go back at the beginning of a day or something like that, we're finding that that eggs are still in stock, generally speaking, but there are spot outages at this point. Not hearing catastrophic shortages, but except in a couple little places, but we'll see. Busy Mom says, my Costco in north of Minneapolis limit 2 on eggs at Costco, and they only had half a pallet of the 60 count eggs. My Aldi near that Costco, eggs went up $1 overnight, and now they have no eggs available. They only have 2% milk available, and the store always looks ransacked. Roseanne, Aldi in North Texas. Regular eggs were $4.99 for a dozen. Large cage Large cage-free brown eggs were $4.15. Now you're going to hear this again. So this is a tip that you might need to take down. No organic produce of any kind at that store either. That's North Texas. But Rocky Horror put in a separate comment. Aldi $4.35 for regular eggs, a dozen. The cage-free was cheaper at $4.19 in Eastridge, Tennessee. Friends, that's several people reporting that potentially the cage-free eggs or the more expensive eggs are actually showing up cheaper in some places. So don't just go straight for the cheap eggs without checking the prices, folks. Check to see if it actually might be cheaper to get the more expensive ones. That's interesting to hear out there. Let me know if you see the same thing out there. Prices are changing so much that some of the eggs might actually be cheaper even if they are cage-free and such. Amy says most Targets in Portland, Oregon have a low stock in shaving products, and the whole beauty supply section is really picked over. I couldn't find most of what I wanted. I used to have no problem a couple of years ago, and that probably is due to organized retail theft. Those are products that get hit pretty hard, shaving products as well as beauty products, because they're easy to resell. Another viewer says, all Aldi stores in Denmark are shutting down. No more Aldi for Denmark. I couldn't pronounce the username. So, Anna in Maine says cat food remains scant. I guess I would have used scarce, but you heard it. Cat food not readily available in Maine. Madam K says this. Take this with a grain of salt. I'm reporting it to you. There were a couple people that kind of had some questions in the comments, but an egg farmer in Wisconsin said the farmers are holding back their eggs because the stores are not paying a fair price. He said go to the local farmers to get eggs. They are cheaper and have all you need for $2 a dozen jumbo eggs. A couple of people kind of went back and say, not at these feed prices, you can't get it for $2 anymore. Also, I can't verify that farmers in general are holding back their eggs, or if that's a real thing for more than one. It might be just true of this farmer, or just a couple farmers, or one co-op, or something like that. I don't know. If you guys have any information about that, please do either email it to me or pop it in the comments down with the update. To comment on these videos, make sure you just use the word update somewhere in your comment and give us a geographical location on what you're saying. Or you can email me at poplarpreparedness@gmail.com. Blue Fox Blitz says, update, Australia. Woolworths has had frozen vegetables and potato chips out of stock for 2 weeks. There are heaps of fresh fruit and vegetables, though. So frozen vegetables and some products that are shelf stable, can't find them, but then when it comes to fresh vegetables, they do have them. So that is Australia. Thank you for that report. Ms. Susie says, went to Costco today here in Washington State. They had some eggs, but a sign was up limiting people to 2 packages of eggs. Same thing for the romaine lettuce, 2 packages per person. We're hearing the same thing out there about lettuce. We're hearing that produce is in short supply. Kara in East Texas says, for the most part, we've been fortunate, no major shortages. But yesterday we did our main shopping trip and there was no half and half in Aldi's or our Super One. Little or no heavy whipping cream and not a huge supply of milk. Shelves definitely have less stock with holes here and there. Eggs are getting higher and higher. A dozen is now typically between $4 and $5. Pet foods have many holes, both cat and dog food. We are still getting some good sales on meats here. $1.97 a pound for hamburger meat yesterday. Chicken is getting more expensive than beef and pork. Friends, yesterday our first weekly newsletter went out. If you sign up it's a free newsletter, by the way, that we're going to be sending out weekly, talking about how you can stock up, how you can be more prepared. We talk about the news here on this channel, what's happening, but in the newsletter, it's more about what you can do about it. Lots of helpful tips. I have someone from the church, a lady from the church, helping me put this together to get you guys great information. She's got a great background, farming background, so she's chipping in with that. And if you sign up by the end of today, I'm actually going to have we're actually going to resend out that first newsletter. So if you sign up by today, we're going to send out that first newsletter again tonight for the new people that just came on board after we sent out the first newsletter. Next one will come out next Saturday, Lord willing. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, useful, you might want to check out this other video right here. I'll see you over there, or I'll see you later. Steve Poplar out.